Good morning. It's Monday at Coffee and Resales. My name's Ryan. I get stuff at yard sales, garage sales, thrift stores, church sales, random backyards. Try to flip it online. Today, 3 sales. Weapons, sort of. And some finds from Friday. This weekend, I hit some garage sales Friday morning after I recorded and got a few things. But other than that, I bought a wheelbarrow and an axe at a estate sale down the street because I needed a wheelbarrow. I can flip the axe. So, anyway, both physically and financially. How are we going to do that? First, we're going to go over stuff I sold. Then we're going to go stuff I found. Because it's fun. Anyway, stuff sold. These 3 things. Blue glass window markers. $10 for these 3. I got them a quarter a piece at Last Chance Goodwill, which does stuff by weight. So this stuff's probably about a quarter a piece. So made a couple bucks. Price had a little longer than I thought it would, but it sold. So there you go. This is one of those things I was probably about to pull. And then it sold. So, glad to see that going. Next up, Larry Niven, Ring World Books. I have had moderate success in the past lining up Larry Niven science fiction. These 2 only went for $8. And I may need to do a how-to video on how to lot books up. What to pay for them, how to price them, that sort of stuff. This is another couple things. I probably should have pulled these a long time ago. These have been sitting almost a year, actually, because the book sale that I got them from, the annual book sale, is coming up this week. And I'm going to go to that. And I think that's where I snagged these, possibly. And so, I made my money back on them probably after all is said and done at $8 shipped. So, there you go. Finally, the good sale. Ooh, Bone. Bone's a graphic novel. It's kind of hard to describe. It's a fantasy graphic novel with some interesting characters. Your kids can read it. Like 10, 11, 12-year-old kids can read it. There's nothing bad in it. It's a very good story. Very well written. This is the omnibus that has all the entire story in it, and it is this went for $30 for this one. I got it a few weeks ago at the flea market. A friend of mine had a bunch of graphic novels and stuff she was just trying to unload, and made a pretty good deal. And I think I'm in the black now on that deal with selling this for $30. I think I spent $40 or $50 with her, and I sold some Grindle books, sold this, and I think I had one other sale, and selling this puts me in the black on that deal. So everything else is money. So that's my 3 sales this weekend. This I am boxing up. This is not going in a pad mailer. It may go in a pad mailer, but then it's going to go in a box. But anyway, $30 book this size, yeah, you box that up. You don't pad mailer that. Anyway, finds this weekend, which was fun. I found guns. 12-inch G.I. Joe guns, to be precise. Everything I found is, I think, from the 90s. This is a mortar. This is pretty cool. I actually haven't figured the maker out for this one yet. I'm gonna have to come take it out of the package here and see if I can't figure out the actual brand on that one. Bazookas, Ultimate Soldier. Now these aren't like G.I. Joe brand ones. This is Ultimate Soldier set of some sort. This is 21st Century Toys. This is Ertl, actually. These are die-cast, funnily enough. Both of this one I think is about a $10 to $15 set. This one, I think is closer to 2025. I picked all three of these up for $10. And this one I am curious about. I think this may be 30 to 50, depending from a couple of things I've seen. There's a vintage GI Joe mortar set that's like $100. That's the actual Hasbro GI Joe set. This is a more modern make, and I haven't pulled it out of the package to try to find a maker's mark on it. But kind of from what I've seen, I think you get $30 for that. So anyway, other finds that when I hit Goodwill up. Oh look, a Baptist hymnal. Preach about these all the time. This is probably the best looking Baptist hymnal I have seen of this version since I've started. This thing, I don't know that this has been used. I am going to sell this as very good. The only flaw in it is there's like some weird wrinkling on this page, and that's it. This thing is clean. Look at that. There's no separation on. This can come up a little bit. They're kind of designed to do it, but like there's no creasing. This thing is perfect. Typically, I sell this book if it doesn't have a church name on it, maybe a stamp, shows some use. $15, maybe 20, depending on condition. I'm gonna put. I may put 40 to 50 on this one, and see if I can get it. This is 15 to 20 easy. So I'm hoping this is at least worth more than 20. I'm thinking this is substantially higher simply because of the condition. So this is the best. I harp about him. This is the 1972-ish edition. If you grew up in the 80s going to a Baptist church, this is what you sung out of. I have never failed to sell this book. Ever. So, and I've never failed to sell it for less than, I think, $12. And I think usually it's in the 15 to 20 range. So, anyway, something to think about when you're out there looking. Baptist hymnals, every time. Next up, this one was a little interesting. So I think I'm taking a little bit of a chance on it. It is Medical Department, United States Army, Internal Medicine in World War II, Volume 2. It's one of those things. If I came across the other volume, this would probably worth a lot more. I think I found some kind of comps on this in the $20 range. So we'll see how this one shakes. Next up, what else did we find? That's for the kids. I've got a handful of these that I need to lot up. These are the eyewitness books for kids. I've got about 4 or 5 of these right now. I've had good success in like selling in Facebook groups, selling lots of these books if I can get them cheap enough. I don't spend more than $1 a piece on these, and sometimes I get disillusioned with them because I wind up with them for a little too long, and then I like flip all of them all at once. It's kind of weird, but this one's Crime and Detection. I've got 4 or 5 other in this eyewitness category, and I'll lot them up and resell them. Let's see, probably for about $5 a book. I didn't look this one up, and I probably should have, but it was one of those that's like my instincts are screaming at me to grab it, and I've sold similar books. This is The Last Tales of Uncle Remus, and we're gonna look this up right now. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna look this up right now. Last Tales of Uncle Remus. This is one of those series that got like if you've ever heard the Song of the South by Disney, because it was a story. There were stories told by ex-slave. And there may have been some other stuff in there that folks aren't like. Song of the South, Uncle Remus stuff has kind of been out of production a little bit. And so it's kind of fallen out of favor with some of the stuff. So we're going to do. let's go scroll down because this just got. No, it didn't. This is. Let's see. Okay. This is curious. Right now, showing one book sold for $6. It also shows this is part of a series of 4 that went for about $58. There's somebody trying to sell this book for $100. That's too high. There and that was I just went to the completed sales, and now we're gonna kind of scroll through a little bit. Is it $23? There's a lot with it in 18. There's an $8. Okay. I'm a little surprised it's this low. I think I still would have grabbed it because I got it for $1. And I think what I'm going to do with this is I'll probably put it in at the $10 level. And also what I'm going to do is I'm not going to list it till this afternoon. And when I go to Goodwill, I'm going to really kind of keep an eye out and see if any more in this series are on the shelves and I can lot them up. And that would be better. So I could probably sell 2 books in this series for $15 to $20. This is probably a $6 to $10 book to the right person. And so that's what I'm going to do with it. I'll probably list it and see how it goes. I'll probably list it for, if I list it by itself, I'll list it for $9.99 shipped, and probably take $7 or higher. Get my money back, and probably not make much on it. A little sad, actually. This may go good in some of the homeschool group too. So I may list it there next time I list a batch of stuff. All right. I'm not going to talk about this. I'm just going to show the cover. This is like a $15, $20 book. So, and finally, this was a good find. This is a surprisingly good find. I'm gonna relook this one up. Jungle Cowboy by Stanley E. Brock. And this dude's got himself on the back cover with an eagle. This dude is like, I don't know nothing about this guy. He's cool already. So, anyway, Jungle Cowboy by Stanley Brock. I looked this one. I saw this rang several of the right bells when I was looking at it. So, Stanley Brock, Jungle Cowboy. Okay, right now, I almost wish I could share. I knew how to share screen. I'm not going to share screen. Right now, I typed in Stanley Brock, Jungle Cowboy. This is a very good lesson in searching and book selling for everybody out there. There's 3 hits. First is a Reader's Digest, February 1971. Sort of like a Reader's Digest condensed book. Going for 3 guy got it started. This is a dumb auction. I think this shows up and it's one of those. This guy needs to pull this book off. For $12, buy it now. $3 auction plus shipping. That book's not going to sell. There's 2 others. These are the ones that irritate me. Both of them. There's one for $73.50, no picture, and $115.99 plus shipping, no picture. I don't complain a lot because I don't like complaining about something and can't without being able to offer a solution. But this is one of those situations where high volume sellers who can get discounts, they get discounts on shipping, and that's fine. They do the volume, they do the business, get your discounts. But they aren't allowed to post pictures. But they get around not having to post pictures, and you can't report them. That irritates me because I think it really hurts I think it hurts. It does. It's not. It just hurts small stores. It hurts sellers. Everybody. I think it's bad business practices. I think it's bad for eBay to do this, but it's one of those aggravating things you just can't do much about, particularly at the seller of my level. So I whine about it every now and then, but let it go. Okay, completed sales. You got the guy trying to sell the Reader's Digest for $3 auction. He needs to pull that and throw that book away. That book is not worth it. 25. Okay. But we do have one sale in the last 90 days for this. There's one guy who actually had a picture. $25. So I think this is probably, and I may run Terapeak later and see this book. I may start it at $49.99 shipped and see where it goes from there. Undercut the big guys, ruin their algorithm, which is always fun. And I'll make the money and they won't. Because that's how you beat the big guys. Because you got to know what they don't do. This is how they hurt themselves. Is they don't have good pictures. And I have sold books. This is kind of a good thing too, I guess. I have sold books for more than their pricing because I've had good pictures. And they didn't. I had the actual book, the actual picture, the actual book sitting here. They didn't. So that's something to think about when you want, the big sellers get everything. There's a way to beat them. But you got to know what you're doing. And know what you're doing, you got to provide, basically that old adage is like, what can the small guy do? He can do better service. Well, I can get you better pictures than those guys can. Because they do stock pictures, or no pictures, or like some weird replacement picture or something like that. They don't put the work in. They just try to do it on volume, and they don't do it on product. And so that's how you wind up with that. So that's how it goes. Anyway, that's what we got to do. I've actually got to list some stuff. I've got to get back in my rhythm of, in the afternoon, take my walk, get back in, photos, list, write, get it done. So it's about process. Put your brain on the process so you don't have to use your brain, because the process does the job. Do your process. Something like that. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and let's get things done.